You want the truth? If you bought a KTM in the last 3 years thinking you were getting European engineering excellence, I'm going to be straight with you. You got played. And you're not the only one. Right now, KTM owners across America are watching their orange machines plummet in value faster than a brick off a cliff. While other motorcycle brands hold their resale numbers, KTM dealerships are struggling to move used inventory that's sitting for months. Mechanics are calling this the orange exodus, owners dumping their bikes before warranty expires. This happened because KTM prioritized flashy marketing over bulletproof reliability. We're talking about 40% value drops in just 24 months on models that should be holding strong. So if you own one of these specific KTM models, don't panic, but you need to know which ones are financial disasters. Here are the 5 KTM models that are now worthless in 2026. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button. What's your experience with KTM reliability? Comment below, but before we start. Number 5. KTM 390 Duke, 2023 to 2024. The 390 Duke was marketed as the perfect entry-level performance bike for new riders looking to experience European engineering without breaking the bank. KTM positioned it directly against Japanese reliability champions like the Ninja 400, promising riders they could have premium European character at an accessible price point. The bike's aggressive styling and impressive power-to-weight ratio initially earned praise from motorcycle media, with reviewers focusing on its sporty performance rather than long-term reliability. But reality has painted a completely different picture. Owners are reporting consistent engine overheating issues appearing before they even hit 5,000 miles. These aren't isolated incidents. Forums and owner groups are flooded with complaints. The electrical systems have become notorious for causing random stalling in traffic situations, putting riders in genuinely dangerous positions. One owner described it as plain Russian roulette with every commute. What's made these problems even worse is the parts availability nightmare. When these issues inevitably occur, owners are finding themselves without their bikes for months at a time. Dealership service departments appear overwhelmed and undertrained to handle the volume and complexity of these recurring issues. The situation has gotten so bad that some specialized motorcycle shops have started refusing to work on these models altogether. The financial impact has been devastating. Those 2023 models that originally sold for around $5,500 are now struggling to find buyers at $3,200. That's a 42% drop in value in just 3 years, catastrophic compared to Japanese competitors that typically hold 70 to 80% of their value in the same time frame. Insurance companies have started flagging these models for coverage concerns, further depressing their market appeal. Trade-in values have collapsed to the point where many dealers simply won't accept them on their lots anymore. One owner I spoke with was offered just $2,100 for his 2023 model, with only 3,200 miles, less than 40% of what he paid 18 months earlier. The situation has become so desperate that Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist are filled with listings from owners trying to break even or minimize their losses before values fall even further. Number 4. KTM 890 Adventure, 2022 to 2024. The 890 Adventure was KTM's answer to the immensely popular adventure touring segment, positioned against proven workhorses like the BMW GS and Honda Africa Twin. KTM marketed this bike as the ultimate off-road capable adventure machine, with race-proven technology and Austrian precision engineering justifying its premium price tag. Initial reviews raved about its power delivery and feature set, largely overlooking the questions of long-term durability that would soon become painfully apparent. The mechanical disasters began appearing as these bikes accumulated miles. Suspension linkage failures during normal off-road use, not extreme conditions, have destroyed rider confidence. These aren't components that should be failing during the kind of riding the bike was specifically designed and marketed for. One owner described how his linkage failure left him stranded 80 miles from the nearest town during a desert tour. Fuel system problems have proven particularly troubling for a bike marketed for remote adventure riding. Numerous reports describe bikes suddenly dying miles from civilization due to fuel pump or injection system failures. The electronic navigation and ride mode systems have demonstrated alarming failure rates, with screens going blank or systems rebooting without warning. Exactly the opposite of what you want when navigating challenging terrain far from help. Perhaps most concerning for an adventure bike are the cooling system inadequacies. Radiator and engine heat management problems are causing overheating during hot weather riding, precisely when many adventure riders are most active. These aren't just inconveniences, they're fundamental engineering failures in a motorcycle category, where reliability isn't just about convenience, it's about safety. The market collapse for these models has been swift and severe. Adventure riders are rapidly switching back to Japanese and German alternatives they can trust in remote locations. The used market is flooded with low-mileage examples from disappointed owners cutting their losses. Dealers are offering massive incentives on new models, as much as 20% below MSRP in some cases. But even these deep discounts aren't moving inventory effectively. Resale tracking websites show these models have lost approximately 45% of their value in just 18 months. An unprecedented depreciation rate for adventure motorcycles, which typically hold value extremely well. For perspective, comparable BMW and Honda models from the same period have lost only 15 to 20% of their value. The adventure riding community, which once embraced KTM for its off-road prowess, is now actively warning newcomers away from the brand. Number 3. KTM 1290 Superduke R, 2021 to 2024. KTM marketed the 1290 Superduke R as the Beast, positioning it as the ultimate naked superbike with performance capabilities that justified its premium pricing over Japanese and Italian competitors. The company leaned heavily on its racing heritage and factory support programs to create artificial scarcity and demand. Social media influencers pushed the orange bike aesthetic hard, making the Superduke R something of a status symbol in certain motorcycle circles. But beneath the aggressive styling and marketing hype, significant engineering failures have emerged. Transmission problems requiring complete rebuilds before 15,000 miles have become distressingly common. These aren't minor adjustments. We're talking about catastrophic failures requiring thousands of dollars in parts and labor. One owner described how his transmission essentially grenaded itself during normal highway riding, leaving metal fragments throughout his engine case. The electronic rider aid systems, critical safety features on a bike with this much power, have demonstrated alarming malfunction rates. Traction control systems cutting in inappropriately or failing to engage when needed have created genuinely dangerous situations for riders. One owner described his traction control suddenly deactivating mid-corner on a damp road, nearly resulting in a high-speed crash. Heat management issues have made summer riding virtually unbearable in most climates. The Superduke R runs notoriously hot, with temperatures that can cause discomfort or even pain during stop-and-go traffic. This isn't just an inconvenience. It's a fundamental design flaw in a street bike meant for everyday usability alongside its performance capabilities. Perhaps most concerning is the inconsistency between individual motorcycles from the same production run. Quality control appears to have been sacrificed in favor of production numbers, creating a lottery where some owners get relatively problem-free machines, while others face constant issues. This unpredictability has further damaged consumer confidence in the brand. The owner exodus has been dramatic. The superbike community, which initially embraced KTM as an alternative to established Japanese and Italian options, is rapidly losing faith in KTM reliability for both street and track day use. Owners are switching to Kawasaki, Yamaha, and even Ducati alternatives, which speaks volumes, as Ducati itself once had reliability challenges, but has significantly improved while KTM has regressed. Service costs have become a major pain point, frequently exceeding monthly motorcycle payments for frustrated riders. The high-performance bike resale market is now actively rejecting KTM models across all displacement categories, with values dropping approximately 40% in just 2 years, far worse than competitors in the same segment. Number 2. KTM 790/890 Duke, 2019 to 2024. The 790 Duke, later updated to the 890 Duke, was designed as the scalpel, KTM's vision of middleweight naked bike perfection combining precision handling with adequate power. These models targeted experienced riders wanting European character without the reliability concerns that had plagued some European brands in the past. Priced competitively against proven performers like the Triumph Street Triple and Yamaha MT-09, KTM promised that factory racing support and continuous development would keep these models at the forefront of the middleweight naked segment. The systematic problems began emerging across multiple model years, creating a pattern impossible to ignore. Clutch system failures requiring expensive replacements have become a consistent issue, with owners reporting problems appearing well within the expected lifespan of these components. One owner described needing a complete clutch replacement at just 8,000 miles, something virtually unheard of with Japanese competitors. Fuel injection mapping issues have caused rough running and poor fuel economy, with bikes exhibiting inconsistent throttle response and unpredictable power delivery. Multiple brake system recalls have affected rider safety and permanently damaged confidence in the platform. These aren't minor adjustments. They're fundamental safety concerns on components that should be absolutely reliable. Perhaps most frustrating for owners have been the electrical harness problems, creating intermittent failures that are nearly impossible to diagnose properly. Bikes randomly shutting down, dash displays glitching, or electronic systems failing temporarily, only to work perfectly when brought to the dealership, have left owners feeling gaslighted and frustrated. One owner described spending over $2,000 on diagnostic time and parts replacements, only to continue experiencing the same random electrical issues. The industry response has been telling. Motorcycle magazines have quietly stopped recommending KTM in comparison tests, often finding ways to praise the power and handling while carefully avoiding direct reliability comparisons. Dealership technicians have expressed growing frustration with constant warranty repairs, with some reporting that KTM work has taken over their service departments, despite representing a small percentage of their overall sales. Parts back orders have extended repair times beyond acceptable limits, with some owners reporting 3 to 4 month waits for critical components. Insurance adjusters have begun questioning KTM values during claim processing, offering settlement amounts far below what owners expect based on purchase price. The combination of these factors has created a perfect storm for rapidly declining resale values, with these models now worth about 50% less than comparable Japanese or British alternatives of the same age and mileage. Number 1. KTM 1290 Super Adventure 2021 to 2024. The shocking revelation at the top of our list is KTM's flagship model, the 1290 Super Adventure. This should represent everything KTM stands for as a premium motorcycle manufacturer. Positioned as KTM's ultimate expression of adventure touring capability, these bikes commanded premium pricing exceeding $18,000, with fully optioned models pushing toward $22,000. They were specifically marketed to serious adventure riders planning multi-week expedition touring, riders who absolutely require reliability above all else. This model should represent the pinnacle of Austrian motorcycle engineering excellence. Instead, it has become the poster child for KTM's engineering and quality control failures. The complete system breakdown starts with the sophisticated electronic suspension, which has demonstrated alarming failure rates, leaving riders with no damping control, a potentially dangerous situation at highway speeds when fully loaded for touring. These aren't simple failures either. They often require complete replacement of expensive electronic components. Engine management problems causing power loss at highway speeds have been widely reported, with bikes unexpectedly entering limp mode during normal operation. The navigation and connectivity systems, critical features for touring riders, frequently fail during remote area travel, precisely when they're needed most. One owner described being left without GPS functionality in the Utah backcountry, forcing a complete route change and additional hundreds of miles of travel. Heat-related shutdowns occurring during normal summer touring conditions have proven particularly problematic. These aren't bikes being pushed to extremes. They're experiencing thermal management failures during the kind of riding they were specifically designed and marketed for. For a premium touring motorcycle, these failures represent fundamental engineering oversights that shouldn't exist at this price point. The financial catastrophe for owners has been severe. Brand new 2024 models are already losing $8,000 plus in value within their first year. Unprecedented depreciation for premium adventure motorcycles. The adventure touring community, which once viewed KTM as a credible alternative to BMW and Honda, has completely abandoned the brand in favor of proven alternatives. Dealers are struggling to effectively warranty repair the complex electronic systems, creating a backlog of unhappy customers. Export markets rejecting KTM inventory has created a domestic oversupply crisis, further depressing values. The industry impact extends beyond just these models. Adventure bike segment leaders like BMW, Honda, and Yamaha are permanently gaining KTM's lost market share. Motorcycle financing companies have tightened lending standards specifically for KTM models, requiring larger down payments and offering less favorable terms due to projected value instability. Trade publications appear to be avoiding KTM advertising to maintain editorial credibility, and even KTM's extensive factory racing support cannot overcome the collapse in consumer confidence. The damage to KTM's flagship model has created a halo effect in reverse, negatively impacting perception across their entire model range. Looking at the pattern across all 5 models reveals a consistent story. Great marketing paired with poor execution. KTM has prioritized expansion and market share over quality control across their entire lineup. The connection between corporate financial pressure and engineering shortcuts has become impossible to ignore. While some individual bikes may perform reliably, the trend across the brand is undeniable. If you currently own one of these KTM models, it's crucial to get an honest appraisal and consider cutting your losses now before values decline further. For potential buyers, these specific model years should be avoided completely, regardless of how attractive the price might seem. There are numerous proven alternatives that actually deliver on their reliability promises without the financial risk these KTM models represent. The motorcycle community needs to share this information to protect other riders from making expensive mistakes. The situation with KTM serves as a warning about how quickly a brand's reputation can collapse when marketing promises don't match engineering reality. Do you agree with this assessment, or have you had different experiences with KTM motorcycles? Which brand do you think might face similar challenges next? Subscribe now for more honest motorcycle analysis that puts your financial interests first. The truth about motorcycle value, reliability, and ownership costs is what matters, not manufacturer feelings.